Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. Hi, I'm Megan. I make videos every Friday. Today's video is all about my skin. Also, please excuse how greasy my hair looks. I put argan oil overnight to make it all soft and to just rehydrate it because I've been away. My hair has dealt with a lot of heat recently from the sun, so I'm just trying to bring some moisture back. I ate a lot of desserts while I was away. My skin has pretty much gone through it a bit. It also hasn't dealt with the fact that I was putting sunscreen on, more sunscreen, in the sea, in the sun, in the pool water, sunscreen. But I struggle with cystic acne, mainly on my chin area and on my back. But I thought I would make this video to sort of explain the things that I do that help. As soon as I get a cystic pimple, I have a regime that kicks in and I change my diet to try and get rid of them as possible. A few years ago, I had cystic pimples that came up in these sections of my chin. At the time, I didn't know how to deal with them. They were new to me. I'd never had cystic pimples or really any pimples up until the age of 21. So I got adult acne, as one might say. I know my hormones had a bit of an issue. My hormones threw a spanner in the works. And then because I didn't know what I was doing, I tried to pop them and now I've got pitted scarring. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, it does bug me personally, but I am dealing with it. But I thought I'd make this video to sort of show and tell what I do. And remember, this is just what I do. This may not work for you. I'm not a dermatologist. I'm not an esthetician. Go consult a dermatologist or an esthetician if you are really struggling and you need something a bit more stable for yourself. But I've found throughout the years, this is just what works for me. This is my big cystic pimple. Now it has gone down. It came up on Thursday and it was massive. It was about this big. And I could feel it. And then I've got an identical one on the other side. It's a lot smaller and it has definitely reduced since. If you can see that. Yeah, so I do have a massive one which has reduced, and then this one, which I'm thinking it might just be a regular pimple that's coming up, but from the way I'm feeling it, it is, I don't know, it feels like a cystic pimple. The dome that comes up under the skin, and then the rest of it was like raised. So I had like an extra chin. You might think I look like the Crimson Chin. That is how I was feeling, or Kronk. But then I also have, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this one, a cystic pimple right there on my back. Fun. And when I lie on this one, it hurts. This one has also reduced. So let me take you through what I do when this happens. As soon as the cystic pimple shows up, I put hot and cold compresses twice a day as much as I can. Sometimes in the morning, sometimes just throughout the day. Depends on what I'm doing, where I am. If I'm just at home, I will just take a cloth with an ice cube. Never just put direct ice onto the skin. You might get burns. And then I'll do that for 15 minutes. And then also I do have globes, or if you have an ice pack. Ice packs also work, I just don't have an ice pack. And then I will warm up a heating pad. Again, I don't put this straight on my face because I'm so scared I'm gonna get a heat burn. So I wrap that in something and then I put it on my face for 15 minutes. I'll do that sometimes in the morning, definitely in the evening. On top of that, I don't normally wash my face in the morning, but as soon as I get a cystic pimple, in the morning, we start washing our face. Normally I just rinse my face in the morning. I use one of these reusable cloth doodads and I give my face a nice wipe with some cold water in the morning. Skincare products, moisturizer. So in the morning I will use my benzoyl peroxide panoxyl wash. It's the best stuff. It works for me so well. As soon as I've done that, I will take my benzoyl peroxide acne-cide cream just on the places that I need it. I'm not going to put it everywhere because it's quite drying. I mean, benzoyl peroxide is quite drying in any case. And then I will take my vitamin C serum to stop the pigmentation from getting any worse. Moisturizer. I actually normally use the CeraVe or the hydrating cream from The Ordinary, but I've moved on to this and I really like it. I just don't find it as hydrating. It's such a huge bottle, I have to try and use it up. But I will definitely be going back to the CeraVe because I much prefer it. And that is what I do in the morning. When it comes to my body itself, I avoid sugar as much as possible. When my skin is inflamed, I try to avoid things that are going to cause extra inflammation in my body, and I try to reduce my inflammation. So I will up foods like turmeric, cayenne pepper. I don't have like a strict diet or anything, just when things are happening. I know that food really affects my skin. Sugar, alcohol, coffee, it really affects my skin. Not that I've reduced my coffee. Of course not. And I also reduce my dairy intake. Now I don't drink milk, but I do eat cheese, obviously, which is still a dairy product. So I try not to have any cheese as much as possible while I'm dealing with this situation. Stress really affects my skin. I don't know if that's just me or if it's other people, but I know that stress It really affects my skin. I know it's the most hardest thing to do, because how do you reduce stress from work? How do you reduce stress from life? So I try and do yoga, things that are just de-stressing to me. Yoga doesn't work for everybody. Meditation doesn't work for everybody. Meditation doesn't work for me. I know yoga is like a form of meditation, because you're kind of doing the meditation breathing technique while you're doing yoga, but I don't see it like that. It doesn't feel like that. But the yoga itself, the exercise, really reduces the stress. Reading also helps. Reading just de-stresses me. You just gotta find what works for you. But these are just things that work for me. So I reduce the inflammation in my body as much as possible. Your body shouldn't rely on vitamins all the time, but I try to take vitamin C, vitamin E, D, so on and so forth. Oh, and sunscreen. I always wear a lot of sunscreen. A sunscreen that doesn't break you out. I am still looking for one. Or in the sun and you don't have a sunscreen, this could potentially get worse. The pigmentation could get worse. Could stick around for longer. And I don't want that to happen. This is all the stuff that I use in the morning. And I will show you what I do in the evening later on. Welcome to part 2 of what I do when I have cystic pimples. So I'm just about to get into the shower to wash the argan oil out of my hair, and we went swimming, so I need to wash that off as well. Going to wash my face, and we're gonna double cleanse because I've been wearing sunscreen. Freshly showered, face is clean. Gonna grab my hyaluronic acid AHA BHA healing solution. Small drop, and on the other one. And I'm gonna leave that on for 10 minutes. I already did this on my back because I was jumping into the shower, so I just put a little dollop on my back where the cyst is. Left it on for 10 minutes before I jumped into the shower. Okay, it has been 10 minutes. I'm gonna wash this off and then we'll get on with the rest of the routine. So when this started happening, I didn't know what I was doing, and eventually I found one of these. This is a high frequency machine. I don't use it very often. I only use it when I get cystic pimples. So if you don't know what this is a high frequency machine, and it basically produces a current that kills off bacteria in the skin to help reduce stubborn acne, i.e. mine is not clinically calibrated, it is just the ones that you buy off Amazon, but I really think it does work. I got this 3 years ago and I absolutely love it, and it was a game changer when it came to my acne, specifically these big ones that hurt over a long period of time. And I'm pretty sure with a combination of benzoyl peroxide products, hot and cold compresses, and this, I think that is why I've now got a good routine that reduces these. Before we start with this, so we're going in with benzoyl peroxide 10% gel from a dermatologist. For the rest of my face, some hyaluronic acid and my moisturizer. So once I've got all of my products on, that is when we can start frequencing. Feel it? I'm not actually touching the skin, I'm just hovering, but it gets there. And I can definitely feel it. And that is all. And then last but not least, when I'm laying in bed, I will put one of these right on top of there and just chill with it on there. That is my whole routine. Like I said, I'm not an esthetician, I'm not a dermatologist. I've just figured out what my skin needs and I just go with it, and I drink a ton of water because I think it might help flush everything out. The cysts have definitely gone down. All I can do is just keep going and then hopefully it'll go away. But anyway guys, thank you so much for sticking around. I hope this sort of gave you an idea of what maybe you could be looking for, but like I said, please consult a professional. Just because I do it doesn't mean it's going to work for you. But thank you for sticking around, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye guys!